is tails. Arkansas is chosen to receive. Ohio State, you'll kick. Which way we want to kick? Your backs this way, please.
So there's the coin toss. Ryan Mallett and company are going to get the football first. Final thoughts, partner. Here we go.
Well, here's the keys to the game, I think. Number one is kick coverage. For Arkansas specifically, kickoff coverage. For Ohio State, punt coverage. Both have struggled at times. And then pass rush. It'll be critical for both teams, but they've got to do it differently. Ohio State has to rush Ryan Mallett like their hair's on fire. They got to make him uncomfortable. But Arkansas, when they rush Terrelle Pryor, they've got to do it with discipline and vision. They've got to keep under control.
All right, well, let's check in with third member of our team before we kick it. Here's Holly.
I'm here with Coach Tressel. And Coach Tressel, as you left the locker room right now, what sense did you get from your team that all the distractions of the last week are behind you and you guys are dialed in?
Our guys are excited and proud to be at the Sugar Bowl. I mean, look around. This is a blessing, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and we'll see if we can play well.
Their defense has 90 tackles for loss, 37 sacks. How have you prepared Terrelle Pryor to handle this pressure?
Well, you know, we've got to be smart. Sometimes you have to throw it away. Sometimes you have to step up and go. But there's no doubt about it. They thrive on minus-yard plays, and we've got to try to minimize those.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Of course, Terrelle Pryor, basically his coming out party was last year in the Rose Bowl. He was sensational, and he picked up at the beginning of the year where he left off. And on the other side, Bobby Petrino and his Razorbacks, a sensational season. Their only losses 24-20 to Alabama, and an Auburn game where Ryan Mallett was knocked out of the game, and yet they still scored 43 points in a 65-43 loss.
And right away, one of the most intriguing matchups is with Ryan Mallett and this Arkansas big play offense going against the defense that for the last several years under Jim Tressel denies people big plays. They make you earn everything. So will Ryan Mallett be patient in the biggest game of his career?
Ohio State's ranked number 2 in the country in total defense, number 4 in the country in pass defense. That's what Arkansas does well. Something's got to give. Drew Basil's got it teed up. Broderick Green is back deep for Arkansas from New Orleans in the Superdome. The 77th All-State Sugar Bowl underway. Broderick Green has to take it over his shoulder about 4 yards deep, and he won't bring it out. So the Razorbacks will start at their own 20-yard line, led by the big fella. And the Big Eaters offensively up front that protect him and do a pretty good job of it. Here's how they look. Love and Grayson, Swanson, Bailey, and Dominguez. The backs and receivers. Niall Davis had a sensational year, over 1,000 yards. Wright, Adams, and Hamilton, the wideouts. And DJ Williams, one of the best tight ends. In fact, the Mackey Award winner.
Very nifty guy in the middle of this offense. Third year starting in the system. Great hands.
First snap. Play action. Mallett loads deep middle, in and out of the hands of Joe Adams. Had he held it, he might have been gone.
Well, this is going to be a test for Ohio State, because as talented as this defense is, they have not faced a quarterback anywhere near as good as Ryan Mallett. And his first throw, there's no extra adrenaline on that one. It is right on the spot.
Joe would like to have another shot at that one, I'll tell you. Ronnie Wingo checks in as an extra receiver. Mallett with an empty backfield, pump fakes, now pulls it down and throws across the middle, and another drop ball. And then a collision afterwards. Julian Horton, the freshman, should have had that one.
Yep. 2 good throws in a row by Ryan Mallett. And again, this is the first BCS game ever for Arkansas. They've got a lot of guys who haven't played. They played in big games in the SEC this year, but this is clearly the biggest game for all of these guys.
Bobby Petrino's on to the next play, but you could just see in his eyes that they knew they had it on the first play of the ball game. Now they've got a 3rd and 10. Mallett in the gun. 3-man rush, and they get close. He fires. This one's low and incomplete. DJ Williams, the tight end, the intended receiver.
Well, 2nd down and 3rd down. They got a little bit of pressure on Mallett, enough to make him uncomfortable, and that's what you have to do with him. You've got to get up the field and make him uncomfortable in the pocket. It was Cameron Hayward, lined up as a defensive end, that was able to force Mallett into an uncomfortable throw.
to punt. Hall waits under it on the other end, and great punt coverage, something that, as Todd mentioned, Arkansas hasn't been known for, but they were that time.
As a starter, Jericho Nelson, probably their best player on defense, down there first on punt coverage.
The Ohio State offense huddles and comes out. Number 2 will lead them. Terrelle Pryor, the junior. Rose Bowl MVP last season, as I mentioned.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Ohio State try the same thing, a play-action deep ball on the first play of the game, just to see if this Arkansas defense is ready.
Boom Herron, the tailback, behind Zach Bowen, a big old fullback. First down, Ohio State at its own 26-yard line. Herron got 3 or so before Arkansas closed the door on it. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Offensively for the Buckeyes, the whole left side, first team all Big Ten. Adams, Bourne, Brewster, the center, Browning, and Sugarts on the other side. The backs and receivers, Bourne, I mentioned, a big fullback. Herron, the tailback. Sanzenbacher, Posey, the wideouts. And Jake Stoneburner is the tight end.
A little bit of a no huddle from Ohio State on the second play.
There's the play action. Pryor's in trouble, but he got it to his safety back, Herron, and he's dropped for a loss. Freddie Burton, the middle linebacker, made the stop.
Right away, you see what has made Arkansas a much better defense this year. Number one, it starts with their ability to pressure the quarterback. 37 sacks, 90 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. They are really quick off the edge, and they fly fast to the football.
Sacks per game, they actually led the SEC with over 3 per ball game. And they were excellent on third down defensively.
Best in the league.
3rd and 7, Ohio State. Pressure off the corner. They pick it up, and Pryor delivers a strike, complete, first down. Corey Brown, the freshman.
Corey Brown working on Jarius Winston out on the backside of this route. Pretty big cushion by Winston, and a nice job of Pryor, knowing pressure was coming, but staying in there and allowing this play to develop.
And Ohio State goes without a huddle. First down at the 42. Herron cartwheels and almost left the ball on the ground.
Funny, we talked to Willie Robinson, the defensive coordinator. He said, hey, this is going to be different for us. They're going to huddle. We're used to seeing all that hurry up in the SEC. Well, guess what, Willie? They're not huddling either.
If you want to see a huddle in the national championship game, you might want to watch our game tonight, because you won't see one next week. Here's Herron bouncing off a couple of tacklers. He's got a first down. Tough run by Boom Herron. And finally taken out of bounds in front of the Buckeye bench.
It's interesting. Willie Robinson, when we spoke with him, he said the guy that Herron reminds me of more than anybody is Trent Richardson from Alabama. And this is a Trent Richardson-like run. The strength, the power to run through tacklers and get extra yardage.
So Ohio State, a good-looking drive, another first down. They'll keep it on the ground until Arkansas can stop them, and that time they do. Pick up maybe a yard. Darius Winston, the cornerback, made the stop.
And that's a play that Terrelle Pryor probably wishes he had back, because he didn't see the corner blitz. Watch the blitz come off the edge, and he's able to make the play behind Herron. Herron had no idea it was there, and the next time that comes up, if Pryor sees it, he could check to a little quick throw out there.
Buckeyes opening drive. They got it 2nd down and 9, just outside the Razorback 37. Sane and Hall flanking Pryor in the shotgun. Play action, and the throw, and his arm hit by Jake Bequette, whose dad was down there for the coin toss, and he got some nice heat off the corner.
Jake Bequette leads this team with 7 sacks, 5 pressures. He's a speed rusher off the edge, and that time he was able to get by the outside of Sugarts and get his arm on the football, and on Terrelle Pryor's arm, rather.
Just got him on the elbow enough. Buckeyes 8th play of the drive, but they find themselves in another 3rd and long. They picked up the last one. This is 3rd and 9. High snap. Pryor flushed out of the pocket. Here he goes. This is what he does best. First down and quite a bit more. Might take it, but he lost the ball. And Arkansas, no. Ohio State's got it in the end zone. Sanzenbacher on a crazy play. place at the right time.
Well, I remember Dane Sanzenbacher doing a similar thing in the Penn State game, being in the right place at the right time for a touchdown. Pryor has the ball ripped out by the safety, Tremaine Thomas, and Sanzenbacher falls on it in the end zone.
Was fumbled. It was not possessed until recovered in the end zone by the offense for a touchdown.
Well, the guy that was voted MVP by his teammates comes up with another huge play. Fumble recovery touchdown.
But the problem for Arkansas was the long scramble by Pryor on 3rd and 9 to get down there.
Extra point is up and good. I don't know if he was expecting to score one like that tonight, but he'll take it. The Hogs let it slip away, and Ohio State turns it into a touchdown.
I'm the 4th string quarterback, but due to a pregame meal of all-you-can-eat calamari.
Ohio State touchdown. He's sitting next to Terrelle Pryor, and I'm pretty sure they had hoped on hooking up, but not this way in this football game.
When you rush Terrelle Pryor, it is essential that you don't rush beyond him, that you keep him in front of you. And that time, the rush came up around him and enabled Pryor to get through there easily. Now, he didn't take care of the football at the end of the play, and credit Tremaine Thomas for hustling after it. But it was still a huge gain on a 3rd down scramble by Terrelle Pryor that Arkansas has to be concerned with.
They knock each other off the opportunity right there. And the funny bounce.
A couple of Hogs having trouble picking up a slippery pig.
Oh, man. So that's caps a 74-yard drive. 8 plays. They picked up 3rd and 7 and 3rd and 9 on that drive to take the touchdown lead. Basil a kick, and again Broderick Green is back deep. Whoa. Wow. A pop-up that's fielded at about the 49-yard line by Freddie Burton. Nice hands by Freddie Burton.
Great field position. Alert play by Burton. Great field position for Arkansas. Was this on purpose or not? That's the question. He almost, well, that had to be on purpose. Yeah, that had to be on purpose. Thought they might have caught Arkansas napping a little bit.
Actually took a great hop, but it's excellent field position for Arkansas now. Right at their own 49-yard line. Pistol set here. It'll be Niall Davis, his first carry. Nice rush by Niall Davis.
And Arkansas just needs to kind of settle down. The first possession, 2 drop balls. Beautiful throw by Ryan Mallett to open the game. And then he buys time in the pocket and another drop by Julian Horton. And so right now, after that first possession's out of the way, it's time to just kind of relax and settle down. And the field position really helps the Arkansas offense.
That's right. After that run, they can say, hey, we're in Ohio State's end of the field already. Let's just chill out here and get back to basics. Stuman in there at the fullback spot in front of Niall Davis. And he'll get another carry behind his fullback, and a nice one it is. First down. Pick up 6 more. Let's check the Ohio State defense for you. You already saw Cameron Hayward make a play in this game with Williams, Larimore, and Simon. The linebackers, Holman and Roll and Sweat. And the backside, Chekwa, an all Big Ten performer, Hines, Johnson, and Von Torrance. So the Razorbacks at the Ohio State 40-yard line. Kobe Hamilton, the motion man. Here's the toss. Davis got by the first man and dives forward for about 8 more. Nope, they're going to mark him out of bounds. Beg your pardon.
Niall Davis, you can't stress enough what he has meant to this team. When this team started the season, through the first 4 games, they only averaged 103 yards per game rushing. That's not great balance to go with Ryan Mallett in the passing game. But over the last 8 games, 175 yards, and most of that due to the emergence of Niall Davis. And it started on the practice field, and he just got better as the season went on.
Second down at 5. Mallett sets, fires across the middle. This time they hold on to it. And he's still on his feet. He might be gone. TJ Williams, his knee never touched. Touchdown. "35 yards. Great job of maintaining his balance, rolling over the would-be tackler, and going for the score. Look at this.
He has great hands, and he has terrific balance to go with it. He's a third-year starter. He's the Mackey Award winner. He knows how to get open, and he knows what to do with the ball when he catches it. And Arkansas on the verge of tying this game.
Previous play, it's under further review. Ruling is a catch and a touchdown.
I don't think there's any way they're going to change that, but Joe Ryder is our replay official. They'll take a look at it up here. We'll go to a break. We'll know if this is a touchdown for sure when we come back. We think so. And quite a play by DJ Williams indeed.
We made it faster than a Mercedes C350.
Just moments ago about the replay.
The runner's wrist was down. By rule, he is down. Ball will be placed at the 17-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10. Please reset the game clock to 10 minutes and 1 second, please.
So what we thought was a sensational play for a touchdown comes back.
Well, it was a sensational play, and you're talking about an inch or two difference between his hand and the back of his wrist, because if it's his hand that touches the ground, then that's not ruled down. But they ruled that it was his wrist, and so he was down at that spot. But tremendous catch and balance, nonetheless, by DJ Williams.
So it's at the 17-yard line. It is 1st down. Davis a single setback, but it's Mallett with a quick throw to the corner to Adams. Touchdown. They won't take that one away, I guess.
Say, well, you want to take the hard one away? I'll go with the easy one. One play later, working on Travis Howard. This is impossible to defend. When the quarterback throws it over the outside shoulder of the receiver, the cornerback has no chance to stop that play. The only thing that can stop it is if he goes out of bounds.
Zach Hocker in for the point after. And it's up and perfect. We're already having some fun, and we got a long way to go. 9:43 remaining 1st quarter, and we're tied at 7.
I guess Joe Adams feels a little better after dropping the open play.
And that was a perfect strike from Ryan Mallett, his 31st passing touchdown of the year, surpassing what he did last year when he had 30.
Yeah, I mentioned that when you watch this guy throw the football on tape, every game there's 3, 4, 5 throws where you just say, wow, there's not many people that can do that. Now, I've seen other guys throw that fade, but that is impossible to defend when you throw that fade route to the outside shoulder and the receiver can move away from the defender to make the catch. It's just a beautiful throw by Ryan Mallett.
Ryan needed 33 yards passing tonight to surpass his own single-season record he set last year. He's got it already.
Good poise by Arkansas on that drive. They had a little nervousness their first possession. That time they came down, they set up the drive with some Niall Davis tough runs, and then a couple big pass plays at the end.
We mentioned Ohio State 3rd in the country in kickoff returns, and Arkansas's coverage is 111th. Here comes the kickoff. Right to the goal line to Jordan Hall. And Hall found a crease. Got across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. Let's check in with Steve Levy. Steve?
This is Steve Levy. Here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now, presented by Discover. Michigan says no decision has been made on the future of head coach Rich Rodriguez yet. Rodriguez will meet with athletic director Dave Brandon again tomorrow. And Marvin Lewis has reached a contract extension with the Bengals to return to Cincinnati for at least next season. Scott Van Pelt joins me for SportsCenter after the game.
All right, Steve, thanks. Back here at the All-State Sugar Bowl, 7-7. Second possession for the Buckeyes, starting at their own 32. The give to Herron. And this time the Razorbacks waiting for him. Rudell Krim made the first hit from the secondary, and then he got help from his friends.
Now, Arkansas is not an overly big defense. That's why a lot of people try to line up and run the football. Now, they've given up yards, 157 yards a game, but they really like to load the box, to load the line of scrimmage with linebackers and defensive backs, and put their corners in one-on-one situations quite a bit.
Buckeyes back to the I set on 2nd and 10. Play action. Pryor loads, fires to the outside, almost picked off. Jermaine Thomas had his hands on it. Sanzenbacher was the intended receiver.
The pass was high by Pryor, and it hung in the air, and that allowed Thomas to come over the top of Sanzenbacher and almost get the interception. And again, remember the last 3rd down play led to the touchdown. It was an undisciplined pass rush by Arkansas, a scramble up the middle by Terrelle Pryor. He fumbled, but they ultimately recovered it for a touchdown. Arkansas has to rush with discipline.
That was on a 3rd and 9. This is 3rd and 10. Here comes a blitz. Pryor, pressure from the backside, got away from that man. Lofts one complete to his tight end. Stoneburner's got a first down. That time his feet gave him the opportunity to throw.
Well, this is what makes him so difficult to defend. He feels the rush from Jarius Wright. He gets outside of the contain and then has the presence to keep his vision downfield and make the throw. That's really where Terrelle has developed this year.
It's under further review.
I think they were seeing if Stoneburner maybe had his knee go down before he got up and got going.
One of the biggest differences between Terrelle Pryor this year and last year, when he would scramble like that last year, he was more inclined to run. This year, he's more inclined to see if there's a throw down the field to make.
Watch his right knee. Yeah, it looked like it was down, possibly, as he made the catch. Right about there.
Yeah, sure does.
Still a first down, just not as big a gain. It was a pickup of 24.
Their big play receiver, number 8. They had a lot of time to talk while this review. Might even see a play action and a deep shot to Posey on this play.
There's the play action. And Pryor scrambles. Now he's going to have to run. He's committed. And he picked up maybe 3 before Anthony Leon got him from behind.
Well, he was looking for Posey, and Posey was double covered. It was good discipline in the back end of the defense by Arkansas. They were trying to hit Posey on a deep post, but you've got the corner Winston, who's going to have safety help coming over, and so Pryor had to pull the football down and try to run.
Leon tracked him down from behind, gave him a pretty good shot at the 49-yard line.
Terrelle better take a little better care of the football when he's scrambling. I mean, I know he's got big hands, but they're going after the football too.
2nd and 7. Pryor, deep middle, got his man. Sanzenbacher, first down. Pickup of 31.
This time he went to his other guy. Sanzenbacher was in the slot, who's working on a linebacker. That's Anthony Leon. And Leon got turned around in coverage. Kind of lost sight of where Sanzenbacher was going. And a nice accurate throw by Pryor.
Here's Ohio State without a huddle again. Now Herron trying to get to the corner. Did. Inside the 15 and inside the 10. Another first down.
We talked about the balance of the Arkansas offense. This Ohio State offense pretty balanced too. And over the last 4 games of the year, this guy, Dan Herron, averaged almost 140 yards a game rushing. So you combine that with Pryor's passing and his ability to scramble, very difficult to defend as well.
He had 175 in the Michigan game. We'll give it to him again. Herron straight ahead. Nobody touched him. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Was a really bad run fit by the Arkansas defense there. They brought pressure off the edge, but there was nobody home on the backside of that run.
About to be 14-7. We're just a little over halfway through the first quarter. Devin Barclay in for the point after. It's up and good. 68-yard march. Took a little over 2 minutes is all. And Boom Herron lowered the boom for his 16th rushing touchdown of the year.
The Allstate Sugar Bowl is brought to you by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate. Are you in good hands? The new 2011 Lexus IS, wheeled precision. The touchdown big box, only at Taco Bell. And Discover, official card of the Bowl Championship Series.
14-7, Ohio State. In the All-State Sugar Bowl. Another quick scoring drive by the Buckeyes, 2 minutes 26 seconds. Now Basil the kickoff. Roderick Green will camp under this one at the 2. Took a big hit just to get to the 20-yard line. Flag down. In fact, a couple of flags. Illegal block in the back on the return, so that's going to back up the Razorbacks.
Illegal block in the back, number 80, receiving team. Penalties half a distance to go, first down.
Chris Gregg with the illegal block, so Ryan Mallett's going to be in a little bit of a hole. Let's take a look at tonight's Taco Bell touchdown spotlights. Mr. Blackledge.
Well, right here is Jerry Franklin. He's going to move out of here and blitz. Somebody has to take his spot in the run game. If you're going to move him out and blitz, somebody better take that area that he just voided. And there's not enough defenders on that side of the defense. And that's an easy touchdown for Dan Herron.
The only guy that was close was the umpire, and he was about 2 touchdown tackle boxes away. Quick throw by Mallett on first down. And they get some decent yardage out of it. Joe Adams, who caught the touchdown pass earlier, gets 6.
You know, we know because we've covered this team throughout the SEC season. A lot of people don't even realize that Arkansas's best receiver, Greg Childs, the senior, was injured his knee about midway through. Still finished the year with 46 catches and 6 touchdowns, but they were still as prolific as they were throwing the football without Childs in the offense for half the year.
Greg was hurt in that Vanderbilt game. Here's a throwback screen. Got it to Adams in the open field. Ooh, he's quick.
Yep.
19-yard pickup.
You know, it's fun to see Joe Adams and Jarius Wright, number 3 and number 4, because they're juniors. And when they first got here as freshmen, and Bobby Petrino put them in there, threw them in there, and they played as freshmen. They took their lumps. I mean, they got knocked around a lot that first season, but now they're veterans in this offense and real leaders on the football team.
First down at the 33. Back to an I backfield. Kobe Hamilton in motion. He hasn't caught a ball yet. And a quick draw to Davis. Now Davis, another dozen. Let's get the view from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam.
Well, Arkansas doesn't play a fullback too much, but Van Stuman, number 44, is going to lead this in, get a nice block on Brian Roll, the leading tackler for Ohio State. And I'll tell you what, that's a tailback's best friend is a good blocking fullback.
Especially one that weighs 266 pounds. Out to the 45, so they've got themselves out of a deep hole after the penalty on the kick return and have good field position again, trailing by a touchdown. Davis puts his head down and piles through for 9 more.
You've got so much working for you if you're Arkansas. You've got a big-time NFL quarterback. You've got a running back that has been hot the last half of the season. You got a play caller in Bobby Petrino, who, when he has that kind of balance, I mean, he puts a defense on his heels. Even as good of a defense as Ohio State, the best in the Big Ten, is a little bit on their heels right now facing this offense.
At the 47-yard line, second down and 2. You can do a lot with a play like this. But they'll keep it on the ground to get the first down, and he got it, and plenty more. Ohio State prides himself on not giving up the big plays. Arkansas is one of the biggest big play teams in the country. 79 completions for Ryan Mallett at 25 yards or more. And Ohio State's defense doesn't give up any, or not many, in the last 2 years.
And again, that's strength on strength. But right now we're seeing Ryan Mallett showing good patience. And the running game is working, and that's going to set up play action pass for some of those big plays.
Out of the pistol set, they'll keep it in Niall Davis' hands. This time he stopped maybe a yard. Brian Roll made the hit.
A couple things about this Arkansas offensive line worth noting. Number one, all 5 starters have been healthy and started every game this year.
Right.
So that, in addition to Niall Davis, the improvement of that offensive line through the course of the year, very important. And then the other thing, you don't see too many teams do this, but they flip their linemen from side to side. They don't have left tackle, left guard, right tackle. They have strong side and quick side, and so they flip to whichever side they want them on the play.
Now it's Mallett in the gun in an empty backfield with 5 receivers at his disposal. 2nd down and 9. In trouble, got away from the first, but not the second. Dexter Larimore got him. Adam Bellamy had a shot at him. He got away from Bellamy, but not the second rush, and a loss of 8 on the sack.
Well, we just talked about the offensive line, and the defensive line won this one for Ohio State. Good quick pressure right up inside there. Forced Mallett to try to move in the pocket and not much room to go. Bellamy was the first guy in there, forced him out, and Larimore finished him off.
So they put themselves in a long yardage situation on the 8th play of their drive. 3rd down and 17. But this guy can throw a ball 17 yards pretty quickly if he gets a chance. Draped all over him was Nathan Williams.
And he got up holding his hand a little funny at the end of that play. Nathan Williams is the move guy in this defensive line. He'll stand up, he'll move around, he'll line up like a linebacker or put his hand on the ground and line up like a defensive end. He had an injured knee earlier in the year, but the healthier he got, the better the Ohio State pass rush got.
Here's the punt. High kick. They'll let it go. And can they get down there, Arkansas, and keep it out of the end zone? Yes, they can. At the 1. Can't do it any better than that. Rodriguez Humphrey got down there to down it. First touchdown was a little goofy. Sanzenbacher put Ohio State up. Joe Adams evened it off. And then Boom Herron gave Ohio State a touchdown lead. Ohio State's misery against the SEC didn't just happen overnight. Goes all the way back to Woody Hayes against Bear Bryant in 1978. Alabama with a big win, and that was the beginning of 9 straight setbacks Ohio State has suffered against the Southeastern Conference. Right now they're doing okay, up 14-7.
Now it's different now. It used to be more speed in the SEC and the Big Ten, not so much anymore.
Pryor stopped for no gain.
And Ohio State, as the best team in the Big Ten over the last several years, I think they're more like an SEC team than anybody else in the Big Ten. I think they have more speed on both sides of the ball, on their defensive line. I think in some other teams in the Big Ten, yes, there's still a difference in the speed maybe with the SEC than the Big Ten, particularly on the defensive front, but not with Ohio State.
Not when you got guys like Cameron Hayward over on that side. They gave Pryor a yard at 2nd and 9. Herron busts through. He's going to be brought down shy of the first down, though, as he got to the 9. It'll be a big 3rd down and 2 coming up. Ohio State has 6 touchdown drives of 90+ this year, so they've been down in that spot before.
Well, when you're 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and you've got a quarterback like Terrelle Pryor, it's pretty tough to stop. Now, however, Arkansas, the best team in the country at stopping people on 3rd and 2 or less.
Right.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a little option from Pryor in this position.
Brandon Sane got the last carry, not Herron. He's still in there. Tailback, he'll get another call. And he's fighting, but he's not going to get there. Better give it up, though, Arkansas. Don't get a penalty. Not when you've stopped him. So, again, on 3rd and 2.
The reason Arkansas is so good on 3rd and short is because they attack the line of scrimmage with linebackers and secondary people. They force you to either try to go outside or run play action pass. They're not going to give up the easy runs.
So now it's going to be Ohio State having to kick from their own end zone. Ben Buchanan, and look out for number 3. He told you what he's done as a wide receiver, but he's a dangerous punt returner, Joe Adams.
A 97-yard touchdown against Ole Miss this year.
He's going to have a chance or take a chance, and he got level as soon as he caught it. Nice coverage. 44-yard kick and no return. And ESPN's your NBA destination tomorrow night. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers struggle a little bit right now. They'll be in Phoenix to take on Steve Nash and the Suns. Coverage starts at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Also available online at ESPN3.com and on your phone. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Roan, our ESPN crew at the All-State Sugar Bowl. 4th BCS game. Only one more happens. The BCS National Championship next Monday night from Arizona. And number 1 meets number 2. Here it's number 6 and number 8. And number 8's trailing by a touchdown. Mallett going long. Hamilton had a hand on it, but nice coverage. Incomplete.
Chimdi Chekwa was running right with him. A little slow getting up at the end of that play, but Hamilton is the speed guy, and Chekwa's in perfect position. Sees the ball the whole way and is able to play through the guy to the ball and knock it away.
A little bit of hand fighting going on, but he did play it beautifully. That's why he was a first-team All-Big Ten defensive back.
And you saw him land on his right potentially as this game wears on for the Buckeyes.
3rd down and 6 for Arkansas. Mallett.
There's movement on the left side of the line. It's going to be 5 more yards.
Start. Number 65 offense. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
DeMarcus Love trying to get in his stance. Got there too early.
Now, he was out there going to block on Cameron Hayward, who has had a pretty active first quarter so far.
You mentioned the strong tackles, and they used to call it strong tackle and weak tackle. DeMarcus said, we ain't talking weak if I'm involved.
Well,
that's why they changed it to quick.
He willingly moved to the open side and said, I'll move, but we're not going to call it weak anymore.
End of 1. All-State Sugar Bowl. Ohio State in the Big Ten leading Arkansas, the SEC, by a touchdown.
And he's valuable on these 3rd down plays because he covers the slot receiver. So now that's 2 new guys in the game, not just 1. 2 new guys in this 3rd down and long situation for Ohio State.
3rd time Arkansas has been a 3rd and long already. Mallett fires, and they got this one down to the 40. Chris Bragg, the tight end, has got a 1st down.
Nice job by Ryan Mallett, again, extending the play by moving enough in the pocket. We got one quarterback that can really scramble and be a threat on the perimeter, but we've got another guy who has the quick feet enough to move to open up a throwing lane, and that's what Mallett did before delivering the ball to Greg.
Inside the 40 of Ohio State. Back to the run to Davis. Now Davis. Ooh, he's about a guy away from maybe making that a big-time play. Jameel Hines in the open field made a good stop.
Well, Brian Roll, the leading tackle on this team, loves to blitz, and he doesn't miss tackles very often. That this time, he took a bad angle to Niall Davis and unable to make the stop.
Back to Davis. This time, dropped for a loss by Cameron Hayward.
You know, a lot of people think, well, did Cameron Hayward have as good a year this year as last year? Maybe not statistically, but when you talk to the Ohio State coaches, they say, yeah, every bit as good. And the thing that makes him unique is he's big and strong enough to move inside and play defensive tackle, but he also is quick and athletic enough to move outside and rush the passer as a defensive end. So his versatility, a big key for this Buckeye defense.
Razorbacks picked up a 3rd and long. Let's see if they can pick up a 3rd and 3 to keep their drive moving. On the ground, short of the 1st down, 2-yard gain by Davis. And this might be a situation where Bobby Petrino already had his mind made up of what he was going to do, and that might mean going for it on 4th and 1. I think that's the case.
Yeah. Well, his field goal kicker has kicked a 51-yarder earlier in the year against South Carolina, but they've run the ball well so far in the first half. They got their big fullback in, Stuman, to lead on this play.
And 2 tight ends as well. 7th play of the drive. Razorbacks were 8 out of 17 on their 4th down conversions this year. They're going to throw. Mallett fires. It's knocked down by Nathan Williams. Big play by Williams, the other defensive end on the opposite side from Hayward. So a fourth down fails for the Razorbacks. They trail by a touchdown, and the Buckeyes will have the ball back courtesy of this play when we come back.
I'm really, truly sorry. Maybe we could meet again. How about Geneva? We could meet at Geneva, sort of neutral territory.
So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem, like me. Recalculating.
Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate.
Gatorade product analysis O2 Perform.
Tonight, Arkansas and Ohio State, as they say, upon further review, was Cameron Hayward who knocked that pass down of Ryan Mallett.
We both thought it was Nathan Williams, but Cameron Howard is right here, and he's going to just come on an inside rush. He's going to get held and everything, but still has the awareness and the vision to see Mallett load up and get his hands on the football.
Gives it back to his offense.
A little surprised Arkansas had no play-action fake on that play.
There's a play-action fake, and Pryor is going long. Man out there, overshot it. DeVier Posey was the intended receiver. Darius Winston, pretty good coverage.
I like the idea, though, by Jim Tressel. A disappointing miss on fourth down by Arkansas. You come right away at the first play in the next possession and try to hit him with a big one. And they had the guy open. Just a little bit of an errant throw by Pryor.
We'll bring up second down and 10. It'll be Pryor in the shotgun. Snaps a little high, the play action, and he throws it complete to Fragel, a tight end, in the open field, all the way down to the 26-yard line. Nobody home over there defensively for Arkansas. Here's the view from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam.
Well, the play action caused the safety, Rudell Krim, to come up towards the line of scrimmage, and that was his coverage responsibility. The tight end, Fragel, ran right by him for a big play.
Got it down to the 28 without a huddle. They go back to Herron on the ground. And he spins his way inside the 25. That was a career-long catch, by the way, for the Buckeye tight end.
I'm not so sure that play wasn't one that they took from Auburn, and Cam Newton faking that run and then picking up and throwing right off of the zone read play.
2nd and 6. Herron, nice spin in the hole, got down to within a yard of the first down marker. Jericho Nelson made the stop.
And we talked about the game that Cam Newton had against this team.
Penalty marker, is there a flag down? No. Pryor on the sneak.
Well, Ohio State was trying to quick snap it, and Arkansas, I think, had too many guys on the field. They were trying to sub players in. That's why Ohio State snapped the ball quickly. Nonetheless, they got their first down.
And they're back in the red zone at the 17 of Arkansas. They really sort of try to start to take control of the game as they score on this drive, and Herron tripped up. Nice job by Rudell Krim to hold on for dear life.
Well, the big pass play to Fragel, Rudell Krim was out of position. This time he was in the right position, but if he doesn't make that tackle, it's another touchdown run for Bam Herron.
11 minutes remaining in the half. Ohio State by a touchdown. 2nd and 6 now. Just inside the 14-yard line of the Razorbacks. Pryor going to drop it off short to his fullback, and he's hit immediately, and a loss of 2. Terrelle Williams, the outside linebacker. Nice open field stop on big Zach Morin.
It's a big play coming up right now for the Arkansas defense. They need to stop and force a field goal situation. As good as Ryan Mallett in this offense is, you don't want to get too far behind this Ohio State offense. as good as that Buckeye defense has played all season.
3rd down and 8.
You've got to rush him with vision and with discipline, and don't get beyond him if you rush the quarterback.
3 wideouts for Pryor in the shotgun. He has completions to 6 different receivers. Throws to the corner. Sanzenbacher, touchdown.
Well, this is an incredible throw, first of all, and then a beautiful catch. Terrelle Pryor knew the blitz was coming, and he bought himself a little time by retreating from the line of scrimmage and throwing it on the move, and then Sanzenbacher with the great catch at the end.
Previous play under further review. Running on the field is a catch, a touchdown.
If it stands, it'd cap a 70-yard drive in 8 plays. That kid just finds a way, doesn't he?
Jericho Nelson is in great position on coverage, but Sanzenbacher able to look that ball all the way in. And he has made catches like that all year, coming in the leading receiver with 52 catches. I don't know how you overturn that one.
I don't either.
But again, the throw.
The play stands as called. Touchdown.
That's Dane's 11th receiving touchdown of the year. Tops in the Big Ten.
Well, it had a beautiful ending. Wow, what a play.
Ohio State's touchdown drive, 68, 70, and 74 so far in this first half. And for Terrelle Pryor, his 26th scoring toss of the year, and that being his main target. Devin Barclay in for the point after. Well, if you're going to have a team down by a couple of touchdowns, Arkansas is not a bad team because of how well they can throw the football. But Ohio State playing very well.
Well, Terrelle Pryor does it here. He knows pressure's coming. Watch him retreat just enough to get rid of the ball before Jerry Franklin hits him. And then Sanzenbacher does the rest on the other end.
After you throw a touchdown, your coach says, how about a chest bump?
I think that should really be called a vest bump, don't you think?
Yes, indeed. Sugar Bowl, 21-7. Ohio State, 9:53 remaining in the first half. Basil to kick. This one's going to go out the back of the end zone, so Arkansas will work from their own 20-yard line. Next Monday is the Tostitos BCS National Championship game right here on ESPN. Number 1 against number 2. Heisman Trophy winner Cam Newton. LaMichael James, who won the Doak Walker Award as the best running back in the country. Coverage starts 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. Games also available on ESPN Radio, online at ESPN3.com, ESPN 3D, and on your phone. And in BCS championship games, SEC does pretty darn well, don't they? Including last year when Alabama beat Texas.
Auburn trying to make it 5 in a row.
Ryan Mallett, deep middle to Adams. Wow. He'd take a shot from Orion Johnson and held on.
Well, you mentioned this offense is the kind of offense that's built to get back in a football game. And it's worth noting also that because of the injury to Chimdi Chekwa, you've got Travis Howard in the game. And in nickel and dime situations, you also have a true freshman, Christian Bryant, who will be showing up number 2 on the field as well. So 2 new guys in to that secondary.
Kobe Hamilton hasn't caught a pass yet. He's a big, deep threat. Here's Davis. Wrestled down by Hines in the secondary, but he got 6 more yards.
71 offense, 10 yards previous spot, still first down.
And Wade Grayson guilty of the hold. Let's check in with Holly.
Guys, like many schools, Ohio State doesn't give out injury information, but what I observed about Chimdi was he came to the sideline and he almost collapsed. He was in so much pain. He sat down on a cooler. He did get sick, and they wheeled him out on a cart. Guys, he was holding that left wrist. I heard one man who was close to the situation talking about something of a dislocation. And when Terrelle Pryor went over to the huddle that was trying to help Chimdi, I saw the athletic trainer shake his head at Terrelle as if to say things aren't looking good here. But Travis Howard right now, as I've seen it, is getting bumped around a little bit out here. The Arkansas receivers are being pretty physical with him, guys. Keep your eye on it.
All right, we got a first down and 20 after the holding call. Empty backfield. Mallett, quick throw, got it to Jarius Wright, and he's all the way to midfield. And that should be good enough for a first down.
And that looked like a little bit of a mistake by the Ohio State defense, because nobody was in that voided area that Jarius Wright. It wasn't a blitz, but it was quick recognition by Ryan Mallett to get the ball to Jarius Wright, and that's Wright's first catch of the ball game. The other guy that's been kind of quiet so far, DJ Williams, had the one catch that looked like a touchdown but was called back.
They're going to mark it just short of the first down. Second down and about a foot. Davis hitting the backfield and dropped by Cameron Hayward again.
Well, Cameron Hayward is playing. He's playing like a man. Garrick McGee, the offensive coordinator for Arkansas, said he's a real guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best way to describe him. And he has come to play tonight.
Cameron, of course, his daddy played right here in the Superdome. The late Ironhead, Craig Ironhead Hayward, played for the Saints before moving to Atlanta to play for the Falcons, and that's where Cameron became a star at Peachtree Ridge High School in Swanee, Georgia. There's his daddy, and his son is some kind of player and has had some kind of first half. Mallett. Oh, boy. Joe Adams dropped another one.
And that's the true freshman, Christian Bryant, who is in now because of the injury to Chekwa. And he did not know where the football was. It was a drop ball, but it was an open receiver working on a true freshman. And that's two drop passes, potential big plays for Joe Adams tonight.
And now they'll have to punt. Dylan Breeding in to kick. And whistle stop play. I think Ohio State might be taking a timeout here.
Ohio State, first charge, timeout.
Terrelle Pryor staying warmed up on the sideline. His offense is going to get the football back after this punt that's upcoming. The Buckeyes lead 21-7. Lazy kick. Jordan Hall's going to have to call fair catch. And takes it at about the 17 as we check in with the studio.
This is Steve Levy. Here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now, presented by Discover. Michigan says no decision has been made on the future of head coach Rich Rodriguez yet.
All right, Steve, thanks. Ohio State, 3 long touchdown drives. They get another one here before halftime. Going to be a problem for Arkansas. Razorbacks showing possible blitz off the corner. They're going to bring it. Pryor in trouble. Trying to dance his way out of it. And does, to at least pick up a couple of yards.
Well, you know, I said that Ryan Mallett makes 3 or 4 throws a game that maybe only he can make. Not many guys can do this either. A full-out blitz, and there are about 3 guys that had a shot to get Terrelle Pryor behind the line of scrimmage, and he turns it into a 3-yard gain. I mean, it shows up as a 3-yard gain, but could have easily been a 10-yard loss.
Exactly. Play action, throws it out in the flat to his tight end again. Stoneburner's got a first down. Pickup of 16. Ohio State, touchdown, a punt, and then another score.
Closing in on 250 yards of offense in the first half. Kind of right on pace.
Here's Sane spinning for extra yardage and into Arkansas territory. Jerry Franklin finally brought him down. They call Dan Herron boom. They call him zoom. And he just zoomed for a first down.
This is poor tackling. I mean, a good effort by Sane. Fresh legs in the game. And he's just saying, if you're not going to take me down, I'll just spin and get about 8 more.
To the 48-yard line, in fact. And that's Pryor throwing complete. Sanzenbacher's got it. Down to the 35-yard line. Another Ohio State first down.
Terrelle Pryor just looks so poised tonight here in the first half. He's 8 of 11. He's reading the blitz. He's not panicking when pressure comes. He's left the pocket when it made sense to leave the pocket. But he has stayed and thrown under pressure also and been very accurate doing so.
Maybe he just likes BCS bowl games. Had a pretty impressive one last year, and he's off to a good start tonight. 2-yard pickup for Sane. Franklin, the middle linebacker, made the stop, and we're under 6.5 minutes in the quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned the Rose Bowl last year against Oregon. 338 total yards of offense for Terrelle Pryor. That was kind of his coming-of-age game, and really ever since that time, he has played at a consistently higher level as a quarterback. As you take a look at the total numbers, just real dominant effort so far by the Buckeye offense.
Pryor to Sane. Nice open field hit by Darius Winston. And no gain on the play. Bring up a 3rd down and long, and this is almost a must stop if you're an Arkansas Razorback fan for their defense. I think they know it, the fans do.
One of the guys they've had trouble accounting for the Arkansas defense so far is the tight end Stoneburner. He's in there again, and up here at the top, number 11.
Pryor fires down the middle, in and out of the hands of Posey. He got one-handed, I should say, and it's incomplete.
Posey gets separation right there. Good job off the line of scrimmage. Even though there's a safety coming over to help, Tremaine Thomas took a bad angle. And if this ball's down a little bit, it's a big completion for Ohio State.
Jim Dressel's going to give Devin Barclay a chance for a long one. It'd be a career long if he hits it. 48's the best he's done. This one's from 50. Barclay from the right hash from 50 yards away. Kicked on the way, and he pushed it to the left. So that is a victory of sorts for Arkansas's defense. Their offense gets it back with 5:15 and all their timeouts left. Stick around. First down, Davis on a run, and he's stopped by Cameron Hayward again. A loss of a yard. Speaking of our cameramen, we're missing one of our crew members tonight. Jeremy Schultz was supposed to be one of our camera guys this evening. He was severely injured in a fire in his house last week in Charleston, South Carolina. And if you know Jeremy, you know how likable and positive a person he is. We'd like to send our thoughts and prayers to Jeremy and his family. Jeremy, we wish you, man. Thinking about you. Wish you were here. You're in our prayers, buddy. 2nd down, 11. Mallett has to wait too long. And the ball came out at the end, but it's covered by one of his linemen. 2nd sack of the game for Ohio State. And now Mallett and Cameron Hayward are getting a little bit of a WWE match going on.
Well, they're having a real difficult time with Cameron Hayward. Dexter Larimore that time was the first guy to get there, and I think hit Mallett, knocked the ball loose. Another 3rd and very long, and I really think the difference in this game so far, we talked about pass rush being critical for both teams, but it had to be different. Ohio State's pass balls on Terrelle Pryor.
You saw Cameron Hayward grimacing as he went off injured, and now Mallett's in trouble again. He almost got away, but he couldn't. John Simon won't let him go. And right now the Ohio State front defensively is chewing things up on that Arkansas offensive line.
The difference in how you rush these two quarterbacks. With Ryan Mallett, you play like your hair's on fire. You come all as hard as you can. You get up the field and you fight and scrap, knowing he's not going to tuck it and run and hurt your defense. You can't do that with Terrelle Pryor, but with Ryan Mallett, you got to go get him.
Another punting situation for Breeding. Pretty nice kick, but Hall's going to have a shot at it from the 26. Tracked down nicely. On the coverage, Jones got down there to make the tackle. ATT All-American Player of the Year. Cam Newton, you can text your vote to 345-345. Win a trip to the national championship, quite possibly. Get your vote in. You know one thing, he won the Heisman, so I'm sure he's in the hunt for that as well. Boy, that defensive front of Ohio State playing so well tonight here in the first half. Now the Buckeyes still have 2 of their timeouts remaining. Terrelle Pryor going to take off with this one and got about 5. Winston made the tackle. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, they've just been examining Cameron Haywood on the sideline for his left arm. He's kind of pushing it around, seeing if he's got strength in it. But, guys, he is out of control crazy right now. He just went up to one of his linebackers before that last series and grabbed him by the face mask, got right up in his grill and said, "We need to stop on this down. He is so intense."
A long ball intended for Corey Brown is incomplete.
Crowd wanted a penalty for pass interference. I think it was just Isaac Madison and Corey Brown getting their legs tied up together. There it was, and probably a good no call.
Oh, and he almost caught it anyway. Nice play on the ball by Corey Brown. That brings up 3rd down. There's Terrelle Pryor's reaction, looking for the flag. Blitz coming. Pryor throws complete to Posey, and he's got a 1st down.
Now, again, credit Terrelle Pryor, knowing the pressure's coming and not losing his composure and just drifting a little bit away from the pressure. Pressure was coming from his right. He drifts a little bit to the left and makes the nice throw to Posey.
Now the Posey has his first catch. That's 8 different receivers Pryor's hit. Goes right back in the same spot to a different guy. Stoneberger is tight end, and he's close to a first. Might have it, in fact. There you see him working, as Holly said, on the left elbow area of Cameron Hayward. Meanwhile, the offense out there with 2:16 remaining and 2 timeouts left, and already up by 2 touchdowns. Pryor on play action. This one's too low, intended for Sanzenbacher, incomplete.
You know, a lot of people were wondering with the suspensions with Ohio State, would it be a distraction? Would it affect the guys involved? And you know, I really think there was enough time that went by. You know, it all happened right around Christmas. December 26th, they had a big team meeting. Everything was aired and brought out into the open. And then they made their decisions. And I think once they got down here, athletes have the ability to circle the wagons and kind of focus on the task at hand. And I think they were really able to lock into their preparation for Arkansas.
They have come prepared, no doubt. Pryor loads and fires deep. Man out there, got him! Posey, touchdown! And the Buckeyes are in business again. As he hits his deep threat. Hit him twice in that drive. The big one, 43 yards for the touchdown.
Well, they created a matchup problem from Arkansas. That was Posey, the big play receiver, going against a safety, Tremaine Thomas. And Pryor picked the right guy to throw to.
Barclay, point after is good. Only took him a minute to go 68 yards. The long ball from Pryor to Posey for the score.
And when you have a great receiver who has excellent ball skills, even if he's not open, sometimes you throw the ball up and let him make a play for you. I mean, that's good coverage by Tremaine Thomas, but that's an offensive guy going for the football better than a defensive safety.
Posey with his 7th touchdown catch of the year. And now the Razorbacks are in a heap of trouble. Boy, you know, you think back, look at the numbers already for Terrelle Pryor tonight. 2 touchdowns, 52 rushing. You think back to when Arkansas had a 4th and 1. Cameron Hayward knocked down a pass That was a drive that would have kept it alive for Arkansas. Conceivably, had they scored, it would have been 14-14. Now it's 28-7.
Yep.
Hazel's been a busy kickoff artist tonight. Roderick Green from the 5. Flags are down. It's going to be the second time that they're going to have a block in the back on a kick return that hasn't helped their cause too much either, if indeed that's what it is. That's what the
blocking against Hayward, and Hayward almost delivered him right into Mallett's lap.
Mallett comes back to his check down receiver Davis, and a nice open field tackle by Devon Torrance for no gain. Boy, Ohio State's defense is fired up.
Well, when your defensive front can control action the way that they are right now in this game, it just makes everybody better. It makes your coverage better.
Mallett waiting. Hayward had a hand on him. He threw complete, though, and got a first down. DJ Williams, his tight end, Mr. Dependability.
Arkansas has all 3 of their timeouts as we approach 1 minute left in the first half.
On first down, Mallett throws it complete, and Adams got out of bounds to stop the clock. Got about 7 or 8 more. 52 seconds left in the half. Joe Adams, 5 catches already tonight. He had 2 that he dropped that would have been big gainers as well. Mallett in the shotgun, fires deep down the middle, almost picked off. Should have been. Orion Johnson had his hands on it and couldn't hold it.
Oh, that's one of the rare times where Ryan Mallett was not pressured, and he just made a bad throw. He had a good pocket, and Orion Johnson not able to come away with the interception.
Orion Johnson is saying, oh boy, I'd like to have another shot at that one. 3rd down and 2. They need the first down and then worry about everything else, and Davis has got it for him, and a bunch more. Niall Davis into Ohio State territory and down to the 39-yard line.
Bobby Petrino running down to call timeout. Even though the clock stops as they move the chains, he wants to regroup on the sideline, use that first timeout in the locker room at halftime.
At the Buckeye 40, 1st and 10, 39 seconds left, and again, Razorbacks had their 2 timeouts remaining. Deep ball, and he overthrew everybody right over the corner by the pylon. Kobe Hamilton was the intended receiver. Hamilton had 2 80-plus yard touchdown catches in the win over LSU, and tonight he's got no catches.
Yeah, and he's the biggest, most physical of the receivers at 6'3", 210 pounds, but not able to get anything going here in the first half.
8th play of the drive coming up. Still plenty of time, but 40 more yards to cover if it's going to be a touchdown for Arkansas. Mallett, quick drop, throw over the middle is incomplete. Julian Horton had Christian Bryant draped all over him. 2 true freshmen going at it there.
I think Bryant got away with a little bit there. I thought he had his hand on the back of the receiver there. Hand wrapped around and a grab of the jersey and got away with one there.
5th time that Arkansas has had a 3rd and 10 or longer tonight. They really need this one. Mallett steps up in the pocket, pressured, and had to throw it with Cameron Hayward draped all over him again.
See, it's one thing if you have to work against a pass rush where they get upfield and you have a clean area to step up in the pocket and deliver the football. Ryan Mallett hasn't had that tonight because they've not only got up the field, but then they've collapsed the inside of the pocket, particularly Cameron Hayward, and Ryan Mallett has not been able to set his feet and throw accurately, and a little frustration out of Mallett. with Hayward on his legs.
Those guys aren't going to be exchanging greeting cards anytime soon, I can tell you that.
Timeout. Ohio State. Second charge timeout.
So Ohio State's going to take a timeout here.
And the other 100 guys on the team, what's best for everybody? I totally understand why he decided to let him play.
73 offense, 5 yards, still fourth down.
Well, the false starts are killing the Arkansas offense as if they're not in long yardage enough situation. Now it's 3rd down and 15.
Well, they're the most penalized team in the SEC, Arkansas, and they've had their troubles with this offensive front. And right that time, Ray Dominguez, out of his stance early.
Boy, they got to get all the way down to the 30-yard line for a first down. 4th and 15. Here's number 15 throwing complete to the 26-yard line of Joe Adams.
And Petrino will use another timeout here. All the way out onto the field. 16 seconds. They've got time for a couple more plays. Big time throw that time by Ryan Mallett.
You got that right.
Again, he had to step up in the pocket, but this time he had enough clearance in there to set his feet and deliver the ball to Joe Adams.
So now they got an opportunity. 16 seconds remaining. Arkansas trying to score here before the break. Mallett flushed, throwing. Oh, and it's dropped again by Adams. Would have been a touchdown.
Well, Ryan Mallett is having to move in the pocket just about every throw, and that was another beautiful throw. I think Joe Adams thought this ball was going to DJ Williams, and he tried to go for it late. He didn't anticipate the ball was coming to him. He thought it was going to DJ Williams, and Joe Adams got his hands out late and not able to make the catch.
Then he ended up in the trombone section. 10 seconds left in the half. Mallett fires far side. This one's caught by Hamilton inside the 5.
Well, that's the second time we've seen Ryan Mallett make a throw that's impossible to defend. The fade to the outside shoulder, and then the underthrown fade to the backside shoulder. Even though Travis Howard's in good position, there's nothing you can do against that ball.
Timeout. Arkansas. 3rd.
Okay, what do you do here? Take the sure 3 or go for the end zone? 1 play left in the half.
Well, this football team. At least you had something good happen here at the end of the half, and if you can cash in for 3, you get your team ready to go at halftime.
Zach Hocker, 13 out of 16 on the year. This will be a 20-yard field goal attempt. Kind of a tight angle from the right hash. But he's got it right down the middle. So the first half of the All-State Sugar Bowl comes to a close with a field goal for the Razorbacks. And let's check in with Holly.
Coach, what made you decide to go for the field goal there in that situation?
Well, get to 3 possessions, makes it 18. We got a chance now.
What can you do up front to give Ryan Mallett some more time to throw? Their pressure seems to be affecting him.
Yeah, we got to mix it up a little bit more, get in better situations where we can use our quick game and run the ball better.
And last play, they've had some big strikes on offense. What does your defense have to change?
Lee, they're making a lot of plays. We're right there on a couple of the touchdowns. They made the play, and we didn't.
Thanks, Coach.
So his team is down 28-10, but there's still the big right arm of Ryan Mallett if his receivers start holding on to some of the footballs in the second half. Ohio State 28, Arkansas 10 at halftime. Reese, Mark, and Lou with a Chevrolet halftime report right after this timeout.
Plays where Arkansas had their hands on the ball, but Ohio State came away at the end with the big play. The scramble that led to the first Ohio State touchdown. It could have been recovered by the Hogs. Instead, Dane Sanzenbacher gets it. Then the throw by Pryor with Jericho Nelson in great position. Another touchdown. And the last touchdown to Posey. I mean, those are all plays that could have gone either way, a couple inches here or there, but Ohio State, to their credit, made the plays, and a lot of those plays made by 3 of those guys that we weren't sure if they were going to play or not.
Well, they're not going to play at the beginning of next season, but they were allowed to play in this game, and they all showed up big time. Herron and Posey, and of course Terrelle Pryor is having that kind of game like he had in the Rose Bowl last year. They've been almost perfect. No penalties, no turnovers for Ohio State. And when you talk about all the drop balls, somebody's got to help Ryan Mallett out a little bit here in the second half.
Absolutely, and you kind of got the feel in that first half. You know, we talked about this is Arkansas's first BCS game, and Ohio State's been there. They're 6th in a row. They seem like the team that was ready for the big stage a little bit more. No penalties for Ohio State, 5 for Arkansas, 4 drop balls. That's got to change here in the second half.
Tejada kicks off. Will be taken by Hall. Across the 20, still on his feet, across the 30, in fact, and out to the 32-yard line. Nice return. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Ohio State coach Jim Tressel said that he was not surprised how his team came out and played in this game. He said, we prepared well. I felt like the focus was there, and this does not surprise me. But bad news, though, for his corner. Chimdi Chekwa, guys, is out with what Jim Tressel called a serious injury that he will likely have to have surgery tomorrow. He said, I'm devastated for the kid. It was his last game, and not only that, but he grew up here in New Orleans, guys. A big blow because he was also their corner. And Todd, as you mentioned, he also played nickel for them, so they really lost 2 positions there.
Yeah, he's been a great athlete in this part of the country for a long time. It all started way back in middle school with track and field, and he just got better and better, and he's a heck of a player, and that's too bad. Here's another heck of a player, Terrelle Pryor, just gliding his way out of bounds. Flag on the play.
Well, Arkansas had a hard time getting to Terrelle Pryor in the first half, so the first play of the second half, they jumped off sides to do it and still didn't get him.
92 on the defense. Penalty decline. First down.
DeQuinton Jones is going to jump off sides early and still doesn't tackle Terrelle Pryor.
That's what you call a whiff. And a 17-yard pickup for Pryor all the way to midfield. So just when you think, well, maybe Arkansas can get a 3 and out on Ohio State, they're already back at the 50. Give to Herron. Stiff arms, trying to bounce it outside. They're not going to let him get away, though. Jerry Franklin stays with him, holding on to his arm, and then finally wrapped up to make the tackle.
You mentioned Ohio State did almost everything right offensively in that first half. Pryor was 13 of 19. They were 6 of 8 on third down. They averaged almost 9 yards per offensive play in that first half.
And he hit 8 different receivers in the first 2 quarters. In the gun here on 2nd and 11. Blitz coming off the corner. Herron's hit by that blitz, but still got 2 yards. And boom, Herron slow to get up.
I'm curious to see what Willie Robinson's going to do on this first third down play of the second half. I really think they may want to try playing a little more zone and slow rushing Terrelle Pryor and make him read a defense and make a throw out of the pocket, because when they've gone after him, he has been cool and eluded pressure and made big throws.
We're about to find out. Pryor in the shotgun. Throws on a run. And this one's a jump ball. Should have been intercepted. You can call that another drop pass.
That's exactly right. That goes right with the highlights we showed at the end of the half of getting your hands on the ball but not making the play. I mean, this was thrown up for grabs, easy interception, and 2 guys fought each other. Rudell Krim
and Jericho Nelson.
And Jericho Nelson. If one of them just calls off like a center fielder in baseball,
I got it.
They got a pick.
Yeah. Well, they do force a punt anyway. Buchanan to kick. Joe Adams waits way down there on the other end. Have a short punt, and Adams will call fair catch. Well, from the standpoint of Arkansas, though, they got their stop, and they got the football back, and no further damage done.
Arkansas better do a better job against this Ohio State defense in the second half. They controlled the line of scrimmage, and it started and ended with Cameron Hayward, their leader up there. But it was the strength on the inside pressure that collapsed the pocket most of that first half that really created problems for Ryan Mallett.
Mallett under center here with Niall Davis behind him on first down at the 19-yard line. Play action. Mallett loads it, Fires incomplete. He had a man open in Hamilton, and he threw it way too far in front of him.
Now Ryan Mallett is saying Kobe Hamilton should have kept running on that route. Kobe Hamilton geared it down like it was in an open area. And a little miscommunication on the first play. Remember, Cameron Hayward at the end of that first half came out and was getting his elbow looked to, has a new wrap. A little bit of a brace on that left elbow.
Davis up the middle. Hit right in the face mask by Aaron Gantz. Cameron Hayward in the first half was a man among boys.
Well, it didn't matter whether he played defensive end or defensive tackle. He was a force to be reckoned with. And they moved him around some, and he worked on different guys, but he pretty much had his way with whoever tried to block him up front.
Here's the first third down for Arkansas in the third quarter. Mallett quick throws completes, and it's a first down with forward progress to Jarius Wright. Spotted right about at the 30-yard line.
In that first half, Arkansas was held to 56 yards rushing. And again, coming into the game, 151 yards a game. And that balance is what made Arkansas so good. Well, Ohio State, for the most part, took the running game away in that first half and then were really able to create pressure on Ryan Mallett. That's why I think it's important that they go right back to trying to get the running game going here, even though they're down by 18, to keep that balance.
They give it to Davis, and he's almost into the secondary again. Picked up 11. He came in with 1,183 yards and 13 rushing touchdowns, and as Todd said, especially those last three games, he went for over 150 in each of those. He's got 94 right now, and that sets up Ryan Mallett for play action somewhere down the line. We know that. They're going to empty the backfield, though. Davis comes in motion. Mallett, the quick throw. Whoop. That one got away from him a little bit. Devon Torrance almost had an interception.
Well, again, there was a little bit of pressure. Ryan Mallett threw it without setting his feet, and he really didn't read the coverage very well because Torrance really guessed right and cut in front of the intended receiver, Adams. Ryan Mallett very fortunate that one didn't get intercepted.
Wright and Adams both starting to the right, and that trot back out to the top of your screen. Davis. Another nice run, almost 10 more. DJ Williams, the tight end, sort of led the way. He was on a wing on the right side and got down and got a good block.
Yeah, you know, when DJ Williams came to Arkansas, he was a receiver, you know, that grew into a tight end's body, but he has really taken on the idea of blocking as a tight end. He really has gotten excited about that part of that position, and even though he's not an overly big guy, listed at 6'2", 250 pounds, he's a pretty effective blocker.
Career active leader in receptions among tight ends. Third team All-American, first team SEC. We mentioned the Mackey Award that goes to the #1 tight end. And I said, DJ, did you even know who John Mackey was? He said, I had to look it up on the internet. He said he was a heck of a player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you what, if I'm Arkansas and I see Cameron Hayward still not out there on the sideline in this possession, I keep running the football because he's been the hardest guy that they've had the ability to block or inability to block. Right. Run the football when he's standing over there.
Mallett, quick play fake and the throw in the flat to Adams. Adams ran out of real estate, but Joe's got a first down.
Well, we saw Terrelle Pryor throw under pressure, read the blitz, not lose his poise. That's what Ryan Mallett did here. That was a blitz coming from the outside, from the secondary. Mallett read it, saw it, and didn't panic. Just stayed in there and threw right past the blitzer for a big first down.
So Mallett, 15 completions now on the night. He's got his team down to the 32-yard line of Ohio State. They capitalize on this drive on their first march of the third quarter, and we might still have a pretty good ball game. Davis maybe got a yard. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, for stretches of this drive for Ohio State, 4 different starters have been out on their defense. John Simon's been out on the sideline with cramps. They've been stretching him out. Cameron Hayward, it looks like he's just getting a blow. But Jermail Hines, number 7, who does so much in their hybrid position, he's been on the sideline. He got a new pair of shoes on, but he's out there limping. It may be a foot injury. So, guys, they're really scrambling on this drive.
Getting a little bit tired. And Arkansas trying to gear up their offense. Mallett throwing to Adams and overshot it. So now it's going to be 3rd and long again.
Now, Cameron Hayward was on the sideline getting a break, and his first play back in, he's mixing it up again. He is got a little bit going on after the play with Ryan Mallett.
Talking with the umpire about being held.
Well, I think what's happening, though, there it is at the end.
Oh, giving them the business a little bit down there at the end of the play. Draw play. Davis spins inside the 30, but only to the 28. And so again, on a 3rd and long, they go with a running play. And now they'll bring out the field goal unit again to try to just keep chipping away at this Ohio State lead. This is going to be a 46-yard field goal attempt by the freshman Zach Hocker. He hit a 20-yarder right before halftime.
5 of 7 from 40 or longer this season.
This is a team that is used to scoring touchdowns. In the last 2 possessions, they've had to settle for field goals, but it's a perfect kick, and that gets them a little bit closer. 9:14 remaining in the 3rd. Ohio State 28, Arkansas 13.
Is brought to you by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate. Are you in good hands? The all-new 100% reinvented Ford Explorer. Drive one. Vizio, delivering entertainment freedom for all. And Tostitos, Lay's Classic, and Sun Chips. We make them natural. You make them fun.
Celebrating its 6th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating university general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate's contributed more than $2.4 million in scholarship monies. Here comes a kickoff by Tejada. High and short, fielded at the 13. Jordan Hall, and gets it out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Well, coming up Monday, Tostitos BCS National Championship game on ESPN. Doesn't get any better than number 1 against number 2. Coverage starts 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. And you look at the SEC, starting with the Florida Gators. And then LSU, the BCS National Champs in 07. Florida again in 8. And then last year, Alabama over Texas to take the crown in a perfect 14-0 season. Can Cam Newton and Auburn keep that SEC string alive? Join us next Monday and you'll find out. Herron hitting the backfield and dropped for a loss.
And you can just feel a little more juice coming back to the Arkansas team, their fans. There's some jumping up and down on that kickoff coverage. They're clawing their way back in this game. You heard Bobby Petrino tell Holly, we kicked that field goal at the end of the half to make it a 3-possession game. Well, now it's a 2-possession game. And a negative play on the first defensive play of this possession.
And remember, Ohio State hasn't made a mistake yet, turnover-wise. Pryor run all the way this time. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.
The second time they've called a designed run for Terrelle Pryor. Every other time that he's run the ball tonight has been on a scramble, an improvising play. Pretty good gain on that designed run as well.
Here's the biggest 3rd down. Short yardage defensively for Arkansas tonight. Remember, they're about as good as it gets on stopping 3rd and 2 or less. They get a stop here, and this place is going to start really rocking. Pryor stands tall, incomplete, knocked down by Anthony Leon, who had quite a series defensively there.
Well, and I like what Arkansas did there, because when they rushed Terrelle Pryor, they did it with discipline. Watch the 4 guys rushing. They don't get beyond Terrelle Pryor. They keep him right in front, and they force him to stay in there and make an accurate throw, which he did not do.
Ben Buchanan's going to have to give it back to Arkansas. And while Joe Adams hasn't been able to get loose as a punt returner tonight, he has that capability. He's going to have a shot at this one from the 17. Adams lost the ball. Who's going to get it? Arkansas got back on top of it. And a penalty marker on the play as well.
I'm not sure if that was a penalty or if he was just looking for something to throw to mark that it was a fumble. You know, they usually throw a beanbag. I don't know if he was throwing a flag or throwing his beanbag.
There is no foul on the play.
Good call, partner. Good call. 7:32 remaining third quarter. Still a lot of Sugar Bowl left. Arkansas with the ball on offense when we come back. Looking po' boy there. Oh. You and I could use one of those about an hour and a half from now. At the 15-yard line, Arkansas offensively, their last couple of drives both ended in field goals, and Ohio State made them earn them. 13 plays and 11 plays the last 2 times they had the ball, but they're back to within a 2-score game, and they keep it on the ground with Niall Davis.
Well, very, very smart to keep it on the ground. They only had 56 yards rushing in the first half. Well, now they've got 32 already here in the third quarter on their second possession. So, again, for Bobby Petrino to work his magic as a play caller, he's got to have balance, because play action pass has to be a big part of what they do, and that only works if your running game is effective.
Another 100-yard plus gain for Niall Davis. Play action, Mallett comes up firing on the sideline. Wright had a hand on it and couldn't hold it. And again, looked like a catchable ball. That one had some steam on it, though. And Jarius Wright, the junior, couldn't keep it.
Yeah, works his way back in and got both hands on the football. You know what? He took his eyes off the ball and put his eyes on Orion Johnson at the last minute, expecting the safety to come over and try to separate him from the football, and he dropped it.
He separated him from the football without the hit he was expecting. 3rd and 8. Here. Mallett, slip screen, low delivery. Adams at the line of scrimmage. That's it. Cameron Hayward is there again. He's all over the place.
That's why he's got all those Buckeye leaves on his helmet.
He's running out of room.
Yeah.
So the 3 and out as Breeding's going to have to punt it back to Ohio State. Great kick. Let's see about the bounce. That hit one of the players, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it hit an Arkansas player. It's going to be back around the 40-yard line for Ohio State. Jericho Nelson was down there covering the punt.
Field judge found his beanbag. He had that baby out there pretty quickly, and he's going to move it to about the 45, in fact. There you get another look. Nelson's going to hit him right in the backside. Ohio State on offense when we come back.
It's game time.
Field position of the night and a 15-point lead.
Yeah, and this is a spot where I would expect to see them try to go for a big play off of play action. It's Chimdi Chekwa in street clothes with that right wrist injury. But they had a long layoff with the timeout. They've got great field position, and Arkansas had a 3 and out the last defensive possession. So a good spot for Ohio State to maybe take a shot here.
They've got Herron, the tailback, in the eye. There's play action. Pryor rolling to throw, and the caught Posey, and he did catch it. Had to go down and scrape it off the turf.
Nice job by Posey running off the corner and then coming back to the football and getting those arms underneath the football. And that's really good work by the wide out on a low throw.
Ohio State hurrying it up here without a huddle. And it's gonna, they tried to get it without a review, I think, is what they were trying to do. But they didn't get it snapped. Well, maybe. 34. Herron, Anthony Leon draped all over him. And we're down to 5 minutes and change. Ohio State by 15.
I thought the fullback moved on that play. Zach Boren got away with a little movement early on that play.
Big third down. 3rd and 2. Not going to get it. Back to the line of scrimmage is all. Alfred Davis knocked Herron down short. Well, the sticks.
Yeah, the key to stopping short yardage plays is to get penetration. Play with leverage and get penetration. That's what Arkansas had on that play. And they got into Herron's ankles and legs before he could get any steam headed towards the line of scrimmage. It was a nice 3rd down play by the Razorback D.
Devin Barclay comes in, missed his 50-yarder. This will be a 47-yard attempt. Barclay, kick on the way. This one's going to stay in there. Got it. Nice kick. Devin Barclay from 46 yards adds to the Ohio State lead. Buckeyes 31-13, 4:10 in the 3rd. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Well, it's about time for Ryan Mallett and his receivers to start hooking up, or things are going to get dim.
You know, one of the things that's really worked to the favor of the Ohio State defense has been bad field position for Arkansas. Their last 4 starts, their own 19, 15, 14, and 25.
Quick throw out to Adams with blockers in front. Joe just got down the sideline to get a 1st down.
And why that's so important is that even though they move the ball and they get some momentum and they get a drive going, they can't go all the way against this defense. Again, this Ohio State defense coming in the best in the Big Ten, 2nd in the nation in total defense, only 251 yards per game allowed coming in tonight.
And remember, they prevent big plays, and they've been, for the most part, able to do that again tonight. Play action. Mallett comes back the other way. Williams knocked down for a loss by Roll.
One of the ways that you prevent big plays is that you're a good tackling football team. And that's what I'm seeing out of Ohio State tonight. Even though they're hitting some completions, you don't see a lot of yards after the catch for Arkansas tonight. Ryan Roll right there making a nice inside-out play.
Boy, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he is a football player.
Well, what makes him so good is he's quick and agile, and he can make plays coming from inside out. And when he gets there, he doesn't miss a tackle in space.
2nd down, 11. DJ Williams, the tight end, in motion. And now Davis cuts it outside. Niall Davis, big gain again. We'll give you another view of that from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam as he picked up 16 yards.
Niall Davis running behind DJ Williams. They put DJ Williams in as a fullback on that play, kind of the lead blocker. And Niall Davis just cut right off of his block for a nice gain.
Well, here's Arkansas back in Ohio State territory again. But can they get 7 out of it? They take anything right now, but 7 is something that they are used to getting and haven't been able to tonight. Mallett wants to throw it back the other way, and Williams picked that off the turf somehow.
Again, this is what Ohio State makes you do. That they make you earn everything. They make you work your way down the field, and they believe sooner or later
you'll make
a mistake. You'll drop a pass, or you'll have a penalty, or you'll give up a sack, something like that. That's why they're not a real heavy blitz team. They're not a, they don't do a whole lot of different things on defense, but they play real solid and they make you earn your yards and points.
Arkansas at the Ohio State 47. Here's a stretch play. Davis trying to follow his blockers, and he's doing a good job of it, isn't he? Niall Davis, nice run. And the ball came out at the end. And now a mad scramble. And it's still Arkansas football.
Ohio State was clearly trying to rip that ball out at the end, and they did. I mean, Niall Davis is fighting for yards, and you can see Devon Torrance is in there just trying to rip the ball out, which he does. And Arkansas lucky to get on that. And right now, Niall Davis needs to know we can't afford a turnover.
No.
We've got to capitalize every time we have the ball. So get what yardage I can get and then get down.
At the 36, first down, Razorbacks. The toss to Wingo. Ronnie Wingo down the sideline. He's the big back, 6'3", 227, and he got 14 yards.
Another nice block by the fullback Stuman. The quick toss into the boundary kind of caught the Ohio State defense outflanked. Stuman got a nice block, and Wade Grayson, the pulling guard, got a nice block as well.
They've got chunk yardage, as you call it.
Yeah.
Todd, 11, 16, 11, and 14 on this drive. Another first down, and Mallett to the air, to the corner, to the end zone. Touchdown, Jarius Wright.
You see Devon Torrance just say, I can't stop that. I mean, that's an NFL perfect throw. Again, over the outside shoulder on the fade route. It's impossible to defend. The receiver presses him to the inside. The ball's thrown over the outside shoulder. Even with the cornerback in good position, you can't stop that play.
Longest pass play tonight for Arkansas. And it's a perfect pass for the touchdown.
And maybe worse for Ohio State, Cameron Hayward with a little assistance off the field at the end of that play.
Arkansas is going to go for 2 here to try to make it a 10-point game. And Ohio State's going to take a timeout.
Ohio State, first charge, timeout. Timeout.
With the block. Now Ohio State, after the timeout, trying to stop the 2-point conversion.
You know, very much like a basketball coach. You call timeout to see how a team lines up for an out-of-bounds play. Jim Tressel wanted his defense to be able to see the formation.
Jarius Wright in motion toward the ball. He's the one that caught the touchdown pass. Mallett across the middle. And DJ Williams, did he get in? Yes, he did.
Tremendous effort. Working against the true freshman, Christian Bryant was trying to hold him out of the end zone along with Jamel Hines. Just outstanding individual effort by DJ Williams. Hines wraps him up high, what you want to do down there, but he's able to reach the ball across the plane for the 2 points.
What an effort by the Mackey Award winner as the nation's best tight end.
Still never lost control of the ball. That shows you the strength of his hands, too. Reached that thing across, got hit, rolled on the ground, and never lost control of the football.
He's an amazing young man in a lot of ways. And more on that, here's Holly.
Well, guys, he was the Disney Spirit Award winner this year because of the great obstacles he's had to overcome in his life. As a child, he was living in a home with domestic abuse, and his mom decided she was going to take the children and move. She laid out a map on the table, and DJ was just 11 years old at the time. She said, where should we go to escape this situation? He pointed on the map, and it ended up to be Little Rock, Arkansas. He and his family have done all kinds of outreach programs to tell people that you can get out of those kind of situations, and DJ has used his mantle as a football player to let people know that there are ways to overcome that in life.
He is one classy young fella. Kick to the 5 to Jordan Hall. And Arkansas doing a better job on their kick coverage than they have all year long. Our view from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. Let's give you one more pretty picture of a pretty pass. Can't do it any better than that. And then DJ Williams fighting and reaching. 2-point conversion. Ohio State 31, Arkansas 21. 15 minutes and the 52 seconds we have left in the third quarter. Don't go away. Pryor on a running play, no gain.
Nice play by Jerry Franklin. Kept leverage, and then when he saw it was a chance to strike at Pryor's legs, he went for it and made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
They only have one more play left in this quarter. Superdome is starting to rock a little bit.
I think some of the Ohio State players didn't think they needed to run a play here before the clock ran out, but they do.
And here it is, play action. Pryor, middle screen, ball is out. Covered by one of the offensive linemen, Boren, but that ball was loose for a minute.
There were a lot of players that were kind of standing around thinking the clock was going to run out and they wouldn't have to run a play before the end of the third quarter. And then when they ran it, they weren't really in sync.
It was almost a disaster. End of 3. Ohio State by 10. Fourth quarter coming up. 4 seconds officially now left in the third quarter. So we're going back in time. A little bit.
Because of incomplete pass.
Right.
Okay. Change all the graphics. Back to the third quarter. All right. Well, we get to get that great build up to the fourth quarter one more time.
One more time. Well, we'll try it again.
Do that. Groundhog Day.
We'll get it from the Razorbacks fans.
Still have to rush under control if you're Arkansas. Don't get beyond Terrelle Pryor.
Pryor on 3rd and 10. Hurdled one man. Being chased down the sideline. He's got a first down. There's a flag down. Back in the pocket or the general vicinity of.
And again, that's why you don't want to get beyond Terrelle Pryor. Because of his ability to step up and then sprint out around your defense.
Holding Ohio State. That's their first penalty on the last play of the third quarter.
Number 76 on the offense. The penalty will be 10 yards from the previous spot. We'll extend the period for one play. Still third down.
J.B. Shogart's working against Jake Bequette, the best pass rusher, and that's why Terrelle Pryor was able to get outside of the defense.
So back to the 16-yard line goes Ohio State.
And if he's good enough to make a 3rd and 20 completion on us at this point in the game, then hats off to him.
Pryor in trouble again. Got away. Sets his feet and fires. Got a man open on the near side, but he threw it to the bench of Arkansas. Incomplete. The third quarter is over. But Arkansas very much alive with a touchdown pass from Ryan Mallett. We start the fourth quarter in a moment in a 10-point game.
Here in the second half.
Buchanan, the punt. Joe Adams going to have to get out of the way of this one. It's going to take an Arkansas bounce. And this will be great starting field position right at midfield for Arkansas. The bowl season continues here on ESPN Thursday night with the GoDaddy.com Bowl. Middle Tennessee takes on MAC champion Miami of Ohio. Coverage starts 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. Game also on ESPN Radio, online at ESPN3.com, and on your phone. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew starting our final quarter of the football season together. Cameron Hayward battling an elbow problem. Holly said he was stretching his hamstring between quarters, but he's back there trying to chase the quarterback. And doing a pretty good job of it. Incomplete on the pass intended for Niall Davis. Broken up by Ross Holman. 20 of 37, 234 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
He has had some passes dropped in the game, but he also has not been as accurate as he normally is when he's moved up in the pocket. Ohio State has made him uncomfortable enough at times to where he's not been accurate throwing the football.
Davis hit at the line of scrimmage, spins off for a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 9.
It was so important for Arkansas to come out in the third quarter and try to run the football again. Even though they only gained 56 yards the first half, even though they were down a bunch of points, that balance was critical for them getting back in this football game. And now Niall Davis has 137 yards rushing, and they're only down by 10 points.
3rd and 9. Where's DJ Williams? He's on the right side. Mallett comes up to the line and now backpedals into the shotgun. The throw complete to DJ Williams.
Nice call, my man.
They move the chains.
Well, Dominic Clark is the third-team cornerback. Because of injuries, that's who he's working on. And this is a mismatch that favors DJ Williams. Dominic Clark's in pretty good position, but Williams is a wide body, and he does a nice job of just shielding the football from the defender and making the clutch third down catch.
Back to an I backfield with Stuman, the big fullback, in front of Niall Davis. And Williams in motion on 1st down. Mallett comes back to his secondary receiver, and it's Stuman, the fullback, and he got about 4. Holly?
Well, guys, they're just dropping like flies down here. It's really too bad for Ohio State right now. Not only did they lose 3 defensive backs to start the season, Tyler Moeller got out halfway through, Nate Oliver and C.J. Barnett, but we've lost Chimdi Chekwa in this game to a wrist injury. Right now, his backup, Travis Howard, has been sidelined with severe cramps over here. He is on the sideline right now. Jamel Hines is fighting a toe injury. And, guys, cramps really starting to affect these guys. I've seen 7 or 8 guys getting stretched out, taking liquids over here on the bench for Ohio State.
All right, Holly, keep us posted. 2nd and 6. Inside the Ohio State 35. Down 10. Arkansas trying to mount a rally. Cameron Hayward and Dexter Larimore have got Mallett.
Well, you can play with walk-on defensive backs if you get a pass rush like that, because no quarterback, even one as good as Ryan Mallett, doesn't have time to do anything, and he just manhandled the best offensive lineman up there for Arkansas, DeMarcus Love.
Fourth sack of the night by the Buckeye defense. Now it's back at the 41. Niall Davis empties the Hogs' backfield. Mallett retreating, and he has got to throw it away. There's just nothing there for him. DJ Williams was the closest guy.
I think they were trying to run a tight end screen, and Ohio State was ready for it. Solomon Thomas was in coverage that time on DJ Williams, and they were not fooled a bit.
So as much as they didn't want to give this football back up, they've got a punt.
Well, their defense has settled in here in the third quarter. So they don't want to put their defense in a bad spot. Try to pin Ohio State down deep again and see if their defense can make another stop.
Remember, Breeding got him down to the 1-yard line on one of his punts tonight. And this one's inside the 5, caught on the fly. Great job by the coverage unit. 12:06 left. Ohio State's got the ball when we come back.
Work, period. The touchdown big box, only at Taco Bell.
They packed the place tonight with cardinal and white and scarlet and gray. Arkansas's defense would love to make a play right here with Ohio State inside its own 5 again. Herron, there's the play. Herron.
No, that can't be a safety, I don't think. I think they're going to move his forward progress back.
But he's only going to... That's a safety.
I thought for sure they were going to mark his forward progress at about the 1-yard line. Maybe it's because he disengaged from the tackler and went back in the end zone and was tackled again.
That's the 3rd safety Arkansas has had this year.
Great penetration again. Anthony Leon hits him chest high. Now, I thought they were going to mark him down right there. I'm a little surprised by that. It was a beautiful play by Anthony Leon. Chest high tackle. Wow. But nonetheless, the second half defense of Arkansas this year has been phenomenal over the last 6 weeks.
We're down to a one-possession game.
It just seems like most of the time in a play like that, the runner gets the benefit of the doubt. You know, I mean, they kind of mark forward progress. But it was a wonderful play by Anthony Leon right in the hole. And momentum clearly shifting to the Arkansas Razorbacks right now.
And now the free kick from Ohio State will give the ball back into the hands of the Razorbacks offense.
Ohio State's offense in the first half, 338 yards. In the second half, so far, only 50 yards now. And they just gave up 2 points.
Buchanan with the free kick on the punt from the 20-yard line. Joe Adams is back deep. Not a good punt. Going to be fielded by Ronnie Wingo. And he's got it to the 44-yard line. Let's take you back and listen to see if we can hear a whistle. Nothing. Now, first of all, if you can hear anything in here, you're lucky.
Well, and watch, there was no whistle, so he becomes disengaged from Leon, and someone else makes the tackle in the end zone. And because there was no whistle, that was still a live play. Leon made the initial play, but they got the safety with Rudell Krim's tackle.
One possession game. Razorbacks on offense. And Niall Davis has it to the 47 to pick up a 3.
And what an opportunity for Arkansas here. In their 2 losses, the fourth quarter was their undoing. And in the Alabama loss, they were winning by 3 and ended up losing 24-20. In the Auburn loss, they were losing by 2 to start the fourth quarter and ended up getting blown out by a final score of 65-43. Here they are in the Sugar Bowl with a chance to win the biggest game of the year in the fourth quarter.
DJ Williams, the tight end, in motion. On second down and 6, Mallett had it batted in the air, but he still got it to Jarius Wright. Wright down the sideline, out of bounds.
And it was Brian Roll again, very uncharacteristically, with the missed tackle for Ohio State. Nice job by Wright, keeping his concentration on the tipped ball, but watch number 36, Brian Roll, miss the tackle. Normally, the most sure tackler on this team misses the tackle, and Jarius Wright turns it into not only a first down, but a huge gain inside the Ohio State 30.
Pickup of 24, down to the 28. That pass actually hit John Simon right underneath his arm, but it skipped out, and Wright made a nice adjustment to stay with it. Arkansas takes a timeout. 10:28 remaining in the fourth quarter of the Sugar Bowl. Destination tomorrow night, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers will be in Phoenix. They'll take on Steve Nash and the Suns. Coverage starts 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Also available online at ESPN3.com and on your phone. First and 10, Niall Davis on the right side, maybe got a yard. Ross Holman made the tackle. And we're going to be down under 10 minutes in the next snap. 142 yards on the ground for Niall Davis. So this, if he carries it a couple more times, will be his 4th straight game of 150 plus here at the end of the year.
And it can't be stressed enough that Ohio State, because of injuries in this ball game, primarily the injury to Chimdi Chekwa, now has Dominique Clark in, number 28, a redshirt freshman corner, and Christian Bryant, number 2, a true freshman safety, in the ball game right now against Ryan Mallett.
Second down and 9. A long handoff. Davis trying the left side this time, and a good open field stop by Devon Torrance, and a loss of 3. And there's Chimdi Chekwa, and you can see either dislocated or broke that wrist. It's already got a cast on it.
This is a big-time play by Devon Torrance from my hometown of Canton, Ohio. Outstanding play in space against a guy who's proven he can break tackles. And now it's a 3rd and long because of that negative yardage play. 3rd and long.
Ryan Mallett has a look.
Cameron Hayward is on the inside right now, not on the outside. He's rushing over the right guard.
Mallett flushed, pressured, throws high off the fingertips of Chris Gregg, the tight end. This would be about a 47 or 48-yard field goal attempt, but that's the group that's coming out of the field. Zach Hocker, his career long is 51. This will be a 47-yard attempt. He's hit his previous 2. Again, Arkansas trying to inch closer. The kick on the way, and it's good. They have inched closer. 31-26. The gap is closing. And Jim Tressel saying that a baby because they didn't give up a touchdown.
Well, on the other side, I think Ryan Mallett and Bobby Petrino are saying we'll take that 3.
Absolutely.
After the negative play on 2nd down, the 3rd and long incompletion, we'll take it because momentum is clearly on the side of the Razorbacks right now. Terrelle Pryor, the game they lost this year up in Madison. They were trailing 21-10 in the 4th quarter, made a furious comeback before ultimately losing 31-18. But now an opportunity for Terrelle Pryor to secure a game in the 4th quarter and to add to his legacy as a Buckeye quarterback.
As you saw those numbers, he was brilliant in the first half and almost non-existent so far in the second. We've still got almost 9 minutes to play in what is now a 5-point game. Tejada to kick. That's Jordan Hall waiting on the other end. He'll take it a yard deep. Hall, and he's going to be met before he even gets to the 15-yard line by the swarming Razorback special team. DeAnthony Curtis with a big stop on the kick return.
Well, John L. Smith is the special teams coach at Arkansas. Was at Michigan State for a long time. Very familiar with the Ohio State Buckeyes. And his coverage units have been outstanding tonight.
And of course, John L. was at Louisville before Bobby Petrino, and thus the connection between those two. And now it's starting to get loud in the Big Easy. There's John L. Ohio State, the ball at their own 14-yard line.
And you always have to respect Terrelle Pryor's ability to run in any situation.
He will. And he almost had it stripped out of his hands by Anthony Leon.
You know, over the last couple days, I watched a lot of tape of Terrelle Pryor, and I also watched Arkansas against Cam Newton, and they're very similar. They're not particularly quick starting when they run the football. And so if you can get to them in the backfield before they get going, that's the best way to get them on the ground. But if they get ahead of steam and get out on the perimeter, they're virtually impossible to stop.
Anthony Leon's had a big football game for the Arkansas defense. Another play there. Second down, 11. Pryor waiting, now flushed. He'll take off with it. And he's going to be brought down at the 19-yard line. The kick to Jones, but Terrelle got 6 back. Ohio State has missed on its last 4 third downs. They've got another one right here.
And I talked about Arkansas needing to rush the quarterback with vision. It's the defensive ends and the defensive tackles. They can't get caught looking at other other things or looking at the ground, they've got to keep their eyes on the quarterback, their eyes on the prize, and that prize happens to be number 2. So when they rush, keep sight of where he is.
3rd and 5. Blitz coming. Pryor in trouble. He's going to get away from it, though. First down, run by Terrelle Pryor. Maybe the biggest play of the ball game so far.
Well, Jarius Wright is going to come on the outside. Number 43 is going to get there, and he's just going to get to the outside. Jarius Wright is chasing, but the guy that lost contain was on the other side. Colton Miles Nash, number 90, came too far inside, and that enabled Terrelle Pryor to get to the corner.
Herron met in the hole, no gain. Terrelle Pryor got 9 yards on that 3rd and 5 to keep it going and keep the clock ticking. The scoreboard's in Ohio State's favor, but the momentum is on the side of Arkansas. Will he get another chance to get his hands on it? Ryan Mallett, that is. He sure hopes so. 2 minutes. Ohio State's taken off the clock so far, though. Play fake. Pryor rolling left. Again in trouble. Lofts one out of bounds. Just threw it away.
Back in November, when Ohio State beat Iowa 20-17, Terrelle Pryor led him on a 76-yard drive, but it was this play on 4th and 10 at the 50 when he scrambled for 14 yards to keep the drive alive. That's the thing that makes him so dangerous, is his ability to run and extend the play. When you think you have him defended, you got to get him on the ground.
Another 3rd down. 3rd and 10. Movement on the line. Pryor throws complete. Again, penalty markers all over the place.
Well, there was movement by Ohio State on the right side and movement by Arkansas on the left.
False start in the 76 offense. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
Shoot close to the 39-yard line for a first down. Blitz coming. Low snap. Pryor dances away from the pressure again. Stiff arms. He's close. Maybe a yard short. It's hard to tell. It's right in front of the Arkansas bench.
He got a pretty good spot. Something happened weird on this snap. I don't know if it was tipped. I don't know if it hit a player, but the timing of the play was disrupted from the very beginning. Watch this snap again to Terrelle Pryor. It hit the center, hit himself in the butt.
Yep.
The ball rolled back to Pryor, so he never even had a chance to read the play and tried to make it happen as a runner and came up about a yard short, it looks like. Less, because they attacked the line of scrimmage. What they are vulnerable to is option or play action pass. I don't know if Jim Tressel will dial either one of those up here on 4th and real short.
They got a full house backfield with Bourne and Holman in there, and Boom Herron and a 6'6" quarterback. 4th down and a yard. Herron diving for it. He got it.
Did the ball come out? I think the football came out before Herron hit the ground. Herron dove forward, but I think he was without the football when he dove. Even if Ohio State recovered, I think they're going to be short of the first down because the ball was out.
That's the key right there.
On 4th down, however, the ball was recovered behind the spot of the fumble, so the ball will be placed there. We will measure to determine whether it's a first down.
There you go, Todd.
As Herron is in the air, the ball is knocked out and knocked back a little bit. And so even if Ohio State recovered, it looks like they lost yardage on the play.
I don't think this is as close as it was before the last snap.
I am not sure it is either. Here it is again. Tremaine Thomas gets his hands on the ball. Rudell Krim got penetration, and it all depends on the measurement.
Arkansas football.
Credit the two safeties. Rudell Krim got great penetration, and Tremaine Thomas stripped the football out. Again, all year long, Arkansas has been the best team in the country at third down and short because they attacked the line of scrimmage. They did it on this play, and they got the football back. Football.
Instead, it's Arkansas at the 38 with a toss to Davis. Now Davis, nice cut back inside the 35.
There's a penalty. I think they held Cameron Hayward. I think they're going to get Wade Grayson.
Holding number 71. 10 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
5:50 remaining. Arkansas trailing by 5.
Well, here it is. Wade Grayson, number 71, is going to try to block out on Cameron Hayward. And he's in position. He just can't get his hands outside. He's got to keep those hands inside. And Cameron Hayward does a nice job drawing the penalty. And that's a clear hold.
That's about the only way they've been able to stop him tonight. First penalty of the half against Arkansas. Ronnie Wingo comes in as an extra receiver. There'll be 5 of them for Ryan Mallett, who pump fakes and comes back across the middle and almost intercepted by Ross Holman.
Ryan Mallett has done a poor job of making completions tonight when he's had to step up in the pocket. And this is something that most of the year he's been pretty good at, stepping up and throwing accurately even if his feet weren't set. But tonight he's not been as accurate, and that one was almost intercepted.
That defensive front of Hayward and Simon and Larimore and Williams has really given him fits tonight. 2nd and 20. Mallett wants to come back the other way to Davis on a screen. Nice job in the open field by Holman again to make the tackle along with Dominique Clark. He picked up 4 yards. And here comes 3rd down and a whole bunch.
Well, and you're in 4-down territory here if you're Arkansas. So Ryan Mallett has got to be thinking, all right, I don't necessarily have to get all the yards on this play, but I better put myself in a pretty decent position on 4th down if I don't get it here.
3rd and 16. Mallett throws across the middle and another drop pass. Lance Ray, that's the 5th drop ball tonight.
See, now I think you have to punt. If you make that.
He's done a nice job of dropping it inside the 5 tonight. And he's going to be able to do it again.
Jeez, how about this guy's night?
Not bad, huh?
Wow.
Inside the 4 this time. Had 1 at the 3, 1 at the 1, and now 1 at the 4. Ohio State in a hole, but they've got the lead with 4:33 to play. The Ford BCS postgame show, and a reminder fans to log on to bcstailgate.com for your chance to win the ultimate tailgate F-150. After that wraps up, tune over to ESPNU for the postgame press conferences. 3rd start inside its own 5 for Ohio State tonight. Herron ran through a hole, and he's holding on to the football this time, all the way out to the 21, maybe the 22.
Well, what a great block in there by Bryant Browning, the right guard. Power play, came right through there, hit the middle linebacker, and bam, boom, Herron wasn't dropping the football that time.
Approaching the 4-minute mark. Ohio State, the Buckeyes taking their time right now.
Yeah, and this is what Terrelle Pryor wants to do. Stay in the huddle as long as you can so that when you break the huddle, you kind of keep the same rhythm of snapping the football and going.
Herron again. Net at the line of scrimmage. Maybe eked a yard out of the deal. Jake Bequette made the stop.
Now, if you're an offensive team right now, you want to use clock the best that you can, but you don't want to lose your edge. You don't want to lose your toughness or your timing as an offense. So you take your time before you call the play, take your time in the huddle, and then when you break the huddle, you come up there and you kind of snap it with the same rhythm so your linemen aren't sitting in a stance for too long because you still want them to be able to come off the football. You still need 1st downs.
2nd and 9. Play fake. This is a keep all the way on the run for Pryor. And he slides forward. Maybe didn't quite get it.
Well, he did one thing really good, and that was stay in bounds. He didn't get out of bounds. He didn't get the spot for the first down, I don't think, but he did stay in bounds.
He's got 100. This might be Terrelle Pryor all the way, too. Just leaning forward. Again, letting that clock wind down. Now he comes up under center. Pryor. He got it. So they're going to move the sticks here with a first down with 2:40 remaining.
Remember, Arkansas had to use one of their timeouts early here in the 4th quarter.
Herron. Ooh. Holding on to bring him down, or he might have had a big gainer. Was Jermaine Love.
Well, Arkansas is selling out and basically playing their short yardage defense right now. And so if they get to the 2nd level, it's going to go for a touchdown.
George, timeout. Timeout.
There's the 2nd timeout.
The thing he has to do is a good thing he took some snaps on the sideline. He's got to make sure he gets the snap. If nothing else, get the snap and take a knee if you have any question or any problem.
Second down and 7. Snap is clean. The handoff is as well. Herron dragged down after a pickup of a couple. Jermaine Thomas made the hit.
And I think Arkansas just took their last timeout.
Arkansas.
2 minutes remaining. And the final timeout taken by the Razorbacks. Well, next Monday, it's for all the Tostitos. Number 1 Auburn, number 2 Oregon in the BCS National Championship game on ESPN. Coverage starts 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. Game's also available on ESPN Radio, online at ESPN3.com.
Attack the line of scrimmage and expect the run to come inside to Herron. I think Pryor could get to the edge pretty easily.
They started at their own 4, 6 straight runs. Have moved them to the 2-minute mark. Herron will not get the first down, but the clock will continue to run.
Well, I would imagine Ohio State will take a penalty here. They'll run the clock all the way down. So the play clock is at 32 right now and running. They'll take a penalty, kick the football, and Arkansas should get it with
about a minute and something left.
Minute and some change, and no timeouts.
So Ryan Mallett's got wide receivers, and that has not been the case all year. But there's been some near perfect passes. A lot of them have hit guys right in the numbers or right in the hands, and they haven't held them. And it could have been a big difference if just a few of those had gone their way.
Well, way back in September in Athens, Georgia, Arkansas found themselves in a similar situation, and with 47 seconds left, Ryan Mallett took his team 73 yards in 3 plays and threw the final touchdown to Greg Childs with only 14 seconds left in the game. So he's going to be in a similar situation tonight with a chance to win.
Buchanan to punt. Jarius Wright's back deep, and they blocked the kick. They got it. Arkansas football.
Oh my goodness.
Julian Horton with a play of the game.
He came right up the middle. Ohio State went with a little bit of a spread formation. And if you're the punter, you're thinking, I've got to get it out. He is blocked. A tremendous effort by the tight end, the 3rd-team tight end, Chris Gregg, who's a long, athletic body, 6'3", 236 pounds, went airborne and got the block.
The ball is in Ryan Mallett's hands now. Mallett fires across the middle. DJ Williams holds on at the 10-yard line. A minute 4 remaining. Arkansas out of timeouts.
Well, you know it's bad for Arkansas when he drops one, because DJ Williams doesn't drop passes. Lots of time for Ryan Mallett. Again, he beat Georgia in less time than this.
Second and 10 at the 18. Here comes a blitz. Has to throw in a hurry. It's picked off. That'll do it. The first turnover of the game comes with 58 seconds left.
Solomon Thomas is one of those guys that is facing the suspension next year. He's not a starter, but he's in pass situations. But instead of rushing the passer, he's going to drop out. They're going to blitz from here, and he's going to drop into coverage, a zone blitz, and get right in the way of the throw. Watch 98. Read it, step in front of the receiver, and make the biggest play of the game for the Ohio State defense.
Trying to tuck it in there to Jarius Wright. And the defensive line that's raised havoc on Ryan Mallett's night all night long comes up with one more big play. And now all Terrelle Pryor has to do is take a knee. The long losing streak to the SEC in bowl games by Ohio State is one play away from being over. So with only one blemish on their record this year, it's going to stay that way. The Buckeyes will end up 12-1. And let the celebration in New Orleans begin for Ohio State. Another BCS win for Jim Tressel. A heck of an all-state Sugar Bowl. Well done by both teams. They finally got to Coach Tressel. They were searching him out for a long time over there on the sideline. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Coach, they were slow on the Gatorade, but they weren't slow getting this game started. How did the momentum you picked up in that first half with both the big passing plays and the running plays help you?
You know, we played a great team. Arkansas is a great football team, and our kids fought and fought, and we had so many injuries on defense. And you know, I couldn't be proud of these seniors. They're unbelievable. We lose a coach, Darrell Hazel, the head coach now at Kent State, and we lose some great people. We've got a lot of lessons to learn, but our kids fought like crazy tonight.
And speaking of those injuries on defense, at some point you had third and fourth string guys out there. How were you able to overcome that?
You know, they kept believing. They knew that they had to know what was going on, and our defense prepares hard. Jim and Haycock and Luke Fickle and Taver and Paul, they get them ready, and it's a big win for us.
Cameron Hayward really took over this game at times tonight. How do you describe his performance?
Cameron Hayward is a special person first and a great football player second. You know, he's just going to be great at the next level. But this was a special night for him to, you know, come down this direction where he's from. And his dad played here at the Saints. And he'll remember this the rest of his life.
Coach, and my last question, I know what you're going to say to this, but for your players to finally beat an SEC team in a bowl game, what does that mean?
Well, you know, when you play in these BCS games, you're playing great teams. And a lot of them are SEC teams. And so for us to come up with that win, despite some of the errors we made, you know, these guys are the best.
Thank you, Coach.
You saw Terrelle Pryor limping on that bad ankle, and a grimace look on his face, but I'm sure happy inside, content in the fact that he did everything he could do to win the football game. And I'm sure he might end up being the most valuable player in this ball game tonight. But I tell you what, if I had to pick four guys, I'd take the defensive line of Ohio State tonight, led by Cameron Hayward, and give them some kind of prize as well. There's their defensive coordinator and the guy that made the play of the game with the interception that ended it.
Well, take a look at this, though, and you teach young players if there's a loose ball to fall on it, but watch, after the block, if Julian Horton scoops this and runs, he walks into the end zone. There's no Ohio State guy around. He fell on the ball, Arkansas got it, and under pressure, Ryan Mallett threw an interception 2 plays later. You can't really fault Julian Horton for falling on the ball because they had balls slip away from him all night tonight. But that could have been the touchdown that would have won it for Arkansas.
Cameron Hayward's pose tells it all. Let's go down to Holly.
Well, guys, right now, Terrelle Pryor is actually being supported by his teammates. It looks like you're injured. What's happening with your leg right now, Terrelle?
I don't know right now. My foot, that's all I know. Foot, a lot of pain.
This was a difficult game for you guys to get focused with everything that led up to this game. How were you able to come out and do what you did tonight, Terrelle?
That's the reason why we all came here. They kept on preaching how we're a football family, and when everything goes bad, that's exactly what happened. They stuck with me, and I love all my teammates for that. And I apologize to Buckeye Nation now. I mean, we made dumb mistakes 2 years ago, and NCAA had to do their job and take us out, man. I apologize to everybody.
How nervous were you when that punt just got blocked, though, that this game was not over?
I was very nervous. I mean, with a great quarterback like Ryan Mallett, man, and our defense is great too. But I mean, they had all the momentum in the world, and Brian Rule always comes up with a big play, man. And I just love my teammates, man.
I know Coach asked you guys to make a commitment if you played in this bowl game to come back next season. Will we see you next season, Terrelle?
All right.
All right. Go get some help on that leg. Thank you very much.
So Terrelle Pryor, another big night, much like the Rose Bowl last year. And a happy group of Buckeyes. They are the All-State Sugar Bowl champions for 2011, 31-26. Stay tuned for the Ford BCS postgame show coming up next.
The Ford BCS post